Have you ever felt the sting of disrespect? Not in the form of grand betrayals, but in those little, sneaky moments. The dismissive glance, the sarcastic remark, the unspoken disregard. It's like tiny cracks in the hull of a ship. They seem insignificant at first, but if ignored, they can sink even the strongest of relationships. The Stoics teach us that respect isn't something we demand, it's something we embody. It's not about controlling others, it's about mastering ourselves. When we stand firm in our values, when we refuse to be ruled by ego or emotion, we naturally attract the respect we seek. But here's the million-dollar question. How do we spot the subtle signs of disrespect? Lesson number 1. Actions with compassion, leading to some good traction. Compassion isn't just kindness, it's wisdom in action. It's the ability to see the suffering of others, not with pity, but with understanding. Think of it as the glue that holds the human experience together. You don't look down on people when you're compassionate, you connect with them. True compassion isn't weakness, it's strength. Strength rooted in the mastery of one's emotions. Marcus Aurelius once advised, before you criticize someone, ask yourself, what flaw of mine most closely resembles the one I am about to criticize? It's a beautiful, humbling reflection. It shifts the focus from judgment to humility. It's a beautiful, humbling reflection. It shifts the focus from judgment to humility, from blame to connection. To cultivate compassion, start with yourself. Accept your flaws not as excuses, but as the building blocks of your growth. When you forgive yourself, you open the door to forgiving others. And remember, true listening doesn't mean waiting for your turn to speak. It means hearing with the intention of understanding. When you listen this way, you dissolve barriers and foster respect. Compassion is a force that radiates outward, turning a cold room into a warm one, a tense conversation into a calm one. It's not about grand gestures, it's the small, daily acts of kindness, words of encouragement, a patient ear, a simple act of generosity. Which leads me into lesson number 2, forgiveness. The ultimate expression of compassion isn't a gift to others, it's a liberation for yourself. For those of you who aren't aware, my name is Epictetus. I was once a former slave to the Roman Empire. I have every reason to hold a grudge against Epaphroditus, my former owner. He held me captive, forced me to serve him, and treated me as if I was nothing more than property. But as I grew in wisdom and understanding, I came to realize that Epaphroditus was also a product of his time and society. I still remember the day I was freed from slavery. It was a mix of emotions, excitement, fear, and uncertainty. But what I didn't expect was the chance to confront my past, and years after my freedom, I had established myself as a philosopher, teaching students from all over the Roman Empire. One day, as I was lecturing, I saw Epaphroditus standing at the door. He looked worn out, defeated, and exhausted beyond belief. My initial reaction was surprise, followed by a mix of emotions. But as I looked into his eyes, I saw something that gave me pause, regret. He seemed genuinely sorry for his past actions. I invited him to talk and we spoke for hours. I listened as he shared his struggles, his fears, and his weaknesses. And as I listened, I felt a weight lifting off my shoulders. I realized that holding on to anger and resentment was not going to change the past or improve my present. Instead, I chose to forgive Epaphroditus, not for his sake, but for mine. I forgave him because I wanted to free myself from the burden of negativity. That night, I saw Epaphroditus as a human being, flawed and imperfect, just like me. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it's a choice that has liberated me from the chains of resentment. It's a reminder that we're all human beings deserving of compassion and understanding. As I often say, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Forgiveness is a powerful choice that can transform our lives. At some point, we all face disappointment, betrayal by a friend, a broken promise, or a painful injustice. The wound lingers, resentment festers, and without realizing it, we carry the burden of past hurt like a chain around our soul. But the Stoics teach us a powerful truth. Forgiveness isn't a gift to others. It's a liberation for yourself. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing wrongdoing or forgetting pain. It means choosing not to be consumed by it. When we forgive, we reclaim our peace and refuse to let anger control us. Letting go is how you free yourself from that pain. In the end, compassion doesn't make you weak, it makes you unshakable. It strengthens relationships, diffuses conflict, and elevates your presence in any room. So, make like that Disney princess in that ice-cold movie, Frozen. And let it go. Don't let them in. Don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal. Don't feel. Don't let them know. Well, now they know. So, let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. The cold never bothered me anyway. Triple threat, lesson number 3. Right speech. Ever hear the phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never, ever, forever, ever hurt me"? Well, that's a bit misleading, because words can empower and encourage, or they can become a weapon of absolute linguistic mass destruction. Words are more than just sounds. They shape our reality. They build our reputation, influence how others perceive us, and determine how we are treated. The Stoics understood this well. Speech is a reflection of character. Mastering it is key to commanding respect. First and foremost, speak the truth. Honesty is the foundation of trust, and trust breeds respect. When you're known for your truthfulness, you never have to demand credibility. It's given freely. Imagine this scenario. You're in an important meeting and you make a mistake. If you try to cover it up, suspicion follows. But if you admit it with integrity, people respect your courage. Truth strengthens, deception weakens. But truth alone is not enough. Kindness in speech is just as powerful. Words have the ability to heal or destroy. Instead of harsh criticism, offer constructive feedback. A Stoic doesn't lash out in anger, they speak with calm reason, even in the face of disagreement. Equally important is speaking with purpose. Ask yourself, are my words adding value? Are they uplifting, solving problems, or sharing knowledge? A person who speaks with intention is always listened to. A person who speaks carelessly is ignored. Silence, too, is a form of speech. Knowing when to remain silent is a sign of strength, not weakness. Many conflicts are fueled by unnecessary words. A wise person knows not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes silence preserves energy and diffuses tension. Above all, think before you speak. Equally important is speaking with purpose. Meaningless chatter only dilutes your presence. Many conflicts are fueled by unnecessary words. A wise person knows not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes silence preserves energy and diffuses tension. True respect isn't earned by speaking often, it's earned by speaking wisely. Have you ever seen how a well-timed silence or measured response turned a conflict into understanding? Share your experiences below. Master your speech, and you'll master the way the world perceives you. Above all, think before you speak. Will your words bring benefit or harm? People who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Making the final 4 this March Madness. Lesson number 4. Mindfulness. Have you ever wondered why some people command respect effortlessly, while others struggle to be taken seriously? The secret lies not in force but in presence. Mindfulness isn't just a practice, it's a way of being, a discipline that cultivates self-respect and inner strength. To live mindfully is to be fully present, observing without being controlled by fleeting emotions. When we're mindful, we respond to life's challenges with clarity, not reactivity. Marcus Aurelius often reflected in solitude, using deep breathing and stillness to center himself amidst chaos. Imagine doing the same, sitting quietly, feeling each breath, letting thoughts pass without attachment. This practice builds composure, making you unshakable in the face of disrespect. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and a colleague unfairly blames you for an error. Instinctively, your pulse quickens, anger rises. But instead of reacting, you pause, you breathe. With mindfulness, you take control of the situation without aggression. You respond with calmness. I understand your concern. The issue was caused by the system, and I'll work with the technical team to resolve it. In that moment, you assert your position with dignity, forcing others to respect you in return. Mindfulness isn't passive, it's ultimate power. It allows you to navigate life with grace, unshaken by external forces. Master it, and you'll find respect isn't something you chase, it's something you naturally attract. Rounding out the top 5 with 5 golden rings, number 5, detachment. In a world that glorifies attachment, whether to people, possessions, or status, the Stoics teach us one of their most profound lessons. True freedom comes from detachment. But don't mistake detachment for indifference. It's not about becoming cold or disconnected, it's about freeing yourself from the chains of desire. Think of it as not allowing the weather to dictate your mood. You've probably seen people who are constantly driven by the need to impress others, always chasing the next big thing, the next validation, the next status symbol. They're like hamsters on a wheel, running faster and faster, but never truly getting anywhere. Now imagine this. You walk through life, unbothered by the opinions of others, unattached to the fleeting highs of success or the lows of failure. You're still working hard, still putting in the effort, but you're not ruled by the need for approval. I've always believed that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Imagine if we all lived that way, valuing simplicity, embracing life as it comes, and refusing to let external circumstances shake our inner peace. This doesn't mean you don't care, far from it. It means you care in the most powerful way possible, by being fully present, accepting, and unshaken by life's ups and downs. Detachment is the key to peace. When you stop chasing after things that don't bring true contentment, you open the door to a deeper, more lasting happiness. And when you live this way, people can't help but respect you. They see that you're not desperate for approval or external validation, and that quiet confidence is magnetic. Detachment is not about avoiding life's pleasures, it's about not depending on them for your happiness. The next time you find yourself caught up in the rush of wanting more, take a deep breath, remember this lesson, and choose peace over pursuit. Speaking of P words, coming in at number 6 on this list is short-term gratification's arch nemesis, patience. Ever been in a hurry and felt like the world was moving at a completely different pace? Frustration builds, stress skyrockets, and in those moments, we often forget one of the most vital Stoic teachings. Patience is a virtue. It's easy to be patient when everything is going your way, when life feels like a gentle breeze. But true patience is tested when life becomes a storm. It's tested in traffic jams, missed deadlines, and, let's be real, when someone cuts you off in line. Here's the thing, patience isn't passive. It's not about sitting still and waiting for things to happen. It's an active choice to remain calm, even when the world feels like it's spinning too fast. Seneca wrote, No man is free who is not master of himself. Patience is mastery of self. When you're able to wait without frustration, to endure without anger, you unlock a deeper sense of inner freedom. Imagine you're stuck in traffic late for an important meeting. Your heart starts to race, your mind spirals, and before you know it, you're fuming. But wait, what if you chose to let it go? What if you smiled, took a deep breath, and used the time to reflect, to center yourself? That's patience in action. And in those moments, you're not just diffusing frustration, you're building respect. People notice when you remain composed under pressure. Patience is a quiet power. It speaks volumes without saying a word. In a world that celebrates speed and urgency, patience stands out as a mark of strength. So next time life tests your patience, use it as an opportunity to grow. The more patient you become, the more respect you'll naturally earn from others. Moving on to Procrastination Nation's kryptonite, coming in at number 7, discipline. You can't demand respect if you're not willing to respect yourself. And the foundation of self-respect is discipline. The Stoics knew that mastering your impulses, staying consistent in your habits, and sticking to your principles was the key to not only achieving greatness but also earning respect from others. Think of discipline as the blueprint to success. It's like building a house. You start with a solid foundation, then carefully craft each piece with intention and care. Without discipline, that house crumbles. The Stoics saw discipline as the ultimate tool for a life well lived. They didn't wait for motivation to strike. They created habits that didn't rely on it. Imagine a life where you consistently show up, no matter what. Where you commit to your goals, even on days when the motivation is nowhere to be found. That's the essence of discipline. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. Discipline is the muscle you build by doing the right thing over and over, even when no one's watching. It's easy to do things when they're exciting or convenient, but true respect is earned when you commit to doing what's right, day in and day out. Coming in at number 8, we're hitting the gas on some self-awareness sauce with the theme of acceptance. Because it's easy to demand respect when everything is going according to plan, but how do we react when things fall apart? When life hands us lemons, and no matter how hard we try, we can't seem to make lemonade. That's where acceptance comes in. It's not about passively accepting everything that happens. It's about embracing the reality of each moment without resistance. The Stoics believed that we don't control what happens to us, but we control how we respond. This is the heart of acceptance. When we stop resisting reality, we stop creating unnecessary suffering. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Your heart starts to race, your mind spirals, and before you know it, you're fuming. But wait, what if you chose to let it go? What if you smiled, took a deep breath, and used the time to reflect, to center yourself? That's patience in action. And in those moments, you're not just diffusing frustration, you're building respect. People notice when you remain composed under pressure. Patience is a quiet power. It speaks volumes without saying a word. In a world that celebrates speed and urgency, patience stands out as a mark of strength. When you accept life as it comes, you free yourself from the chains of expectation. You stop demanding respect through control and instead earn it through your ability to adapt and grow. Think of acceptance as the strength to bend without breaking. In a world that constantly changes, it's the key to maintaining your peace and your respect, no matter the circumstances. Last but not least, coming in on cloud 9 and looking hella fine, number 9, courage. The Stoics taught that true courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to act in spite of it. Fear is a natural human emotion, but what sets the courageous apart is their ability to face fear head-on. It's the willingness to speak your truth, even when others might not like it. It's the bravery to stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular. Imagine this. You're in a room full of people who don't agree with you, who challenge your beliefs. The fear of judgment, of rejection, rises within you. But in that moment, you choose courage over comfort. You speak your truth, and while the room may be uncomfortable, you command respect. Courage is quiet, steady, and unwavering. It's the strength to face adversity with dignity and to stand up for your values, even when the odds are against you. When you embody courage, people notice, not because you're brash or loud, but because you stand firm in your principles. Your actions speak louder than any words ever could. True courage isn't about fighting external battles, it's about overcoming the internal ones. It's about showing up even when you're scared and being brave enough to live authentically. Courage is the secret ingredient that transforms you from someone who demands respect into someone who commands it effortlessly. The true test of courage isn't fighting battles, it's choosing to act with integrity, even when it's uncomfortable. With all that being said, master these 9 Stoic principles: compassion, forgiveness, right speech, mindfulness, acceptance, self-discipline, humility, detachment, and courage, and watch how they transform the way others perceive and respect you. The Stoics taught that our response to disrespect is more important than the disrespect itself. By embodying these virtues, you not only earn respect, you become unshakable in the face of adversity. You attract the kind of respect that comes from within, the kind that no one can take away. So, which of these Stoic principles resonated with you the most? Feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with someone who needs it. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Stay up, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.